Okay, looks like I am live. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Martial Arts History Museum. My name is Michael Matsuda. I'm president and founder of the museum. Forgive me, I was trying to set this up to have our Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and of course, Facebook updated something as they usually do, and of course, it doesn't work. So the live streaming on Facebook is not working on here. You know, they just can't leave it enough alone. You know, it was working just fine a while ago. I was able to broadcast, but they set up a new video manager on Facebook, and you got to go through that now. And of course, it screws it all up. So, anyway, which means we're not having a broadcast on Facebook until they can fix it. You know, somebody needs to create a new Facebook. We need to get rid of Facebook and put a new Facebook, something else different. Look what happened to MySpace. It was replaced by Facebook, and then we need something new. So let's you guys whizzes out there, let's get something else up there that makes it more easier to use. Anyway, welcome everybody to the museum. Again, my name is Michael. I'm president and founder of the museum. I hope you're all doing well today. Today is Thursday. Thursday, nice sunny Thursday here in sunny Southern California. I think it's around 78 degrees, something like that. A little cold. I need my sweater. Anyway, Sensei Emmett, all the way from England. Thank you guys, all the way from the other side of the world. Thank you for tuning in. Rob McCullough, hey, how you doing, my friend? Always good to see you. Great friends come and say hello and say hello to us and tune in. So what else is going on at the museum? Well, we're thrilled to death to announce our, Robert Redfeather is doing an online seminar that'll be available starting Saturday and then for like a week and a half. So I hope you guys can tune in and watch that. I think it's $15. The great people at Gold Star helped set that up for us. This is our first trial run on it. We'll see how it does. I don't know if it's going to bring in a lot of people or not, but it's a great new area for us, for the martial arts community, and who knows what it can bring. Who knows what it can do. But if you can sign up, that'll be fantastic and watch that seminar, and that'll help out the museum as well. All the funds received are going to go help us out and all that. Of course, money goes to Gold Star and all those putting it together. Many thanks to Gold Star and Stellar for organizing this and getting live streaming or semi-live streaming, of the seminar. So that's going to be pretty exciting for us. We'll see what happens from there. You never know. It's good to try new ventures. We're always hopeful that it does extremely well, but we just do what we can. We do what we can. Okay. Let's see what else is up at the museum. I'm just about finished with my 10 things you didn't know about. Okay, series, and that's just ready to launch. I'm just putting the finishing touches on our very first one. 10 things you didn't know about Ed Parker, Edmund Parker. So I'm doing a little fun thing on that with great help from Darlene Parker, very lovely lady, helps us out a lot at the museum. And then David Ortiz, very good, David Ortiz as well. Let's see, Sensei Emmett says, Michael, you should try live streaming from Zoom on YouTube. I could send you the how-to. Please send me the how-to. Have no idea how to do it. No idea. So send me the how-to on this stuff, guys. It's all, it's all brand new. If you're as old as dirt as I am, okay, there was no YouTube, no computers back then, no computers. The only computers were the size of a room. And they used to give us these cards, okay? These cards, and this was like 5th grade. These cards, and you put all these cards together, and the cards would spell out your name. So all these cards to each thing, you put it in the computer, and pray you don't drop those cards. And you put it in the room, and then your name comes out on a little taper thing. And there's your name. That was the computer back then. So there were no computers really. When I was born, there was nothing really. So, but there were nothing back then. TV was still pretty new back then. It was all black and white back then. We had Sheriff John, and we had, all those old shows back then. Lucy, I Love Lucy, and things like that. Jackie Gleason, Honeymooners. Yeah, that was there. That was there. So anyway, um, that was just the way it was. And now they're trying to, invent new stuff. And even though we were there, us old fogies, when the computers came out, we didn't grow up on it. So, and it was a lot of us were fighting it, because we didn't understand it. Nobody knew how to explain it to us. So we didn't understand it. So we're kind of fighting it a little bit. Where the younger people, the younger generation grew up on it and they widely accepted it as part of life. So it's still a big learning curve if you're no fart like me. So anyway, Robert McCullough says, did you sort out your hard drive problem? I sent you a link to USB device that could drag any photo, any video off dead phones, laptops, etc. Looks a good advice. I didn't get the advice. Thank you for mentioning that, Robert. But a guy came over and charged me a fee. He wasn't that huge. And he recovered about 90% of my hard drive. So I feel pretty good. In case you didn't know, I have three hard drives hooked up besides the main one here to my Mac. And I've got so much video, just a ton of video, and it takes up so much room. So I had to have three external hard drives, and lo and behold, one of them crashed. And so I had to get it repaired, and I did. I got it repaired, and I saved about 90% of the stuff. So that's good. That's good. I'm very, very happy about that. So anyway, we learned. But now I got a couple of big hard drives. I got a nice 5 terabyte hard drive and all that. So that's going to be two of them. A lot of backup on there. So thank you for asking, guys, very much. So we did get it repaired, and especially saved a couple of things that I really wanted to save. And thankfully, we were able to save those. So that was pretty good. Okay, what else is new at the museum? Besides the classes, we are thrilled to death that we had some wonderful people buy up all our archive magazines here. Now, we get in magazines all the time. And we get in thousands. And I tell you, we have at least maybe 5,000 magazines, many duplicates of the magazine. And we don't need the duplicates. There's just so many to store. If you collected magazines back then, you know what I'm talking about. There were just so many to store. So I can't store them all. And I said, I'm selling them here at a little bit price here. And it's just slowly moving. And then one wonderful people came along and they offered me a nice amount for it. And I said, sold. There you go. So they bought up about a couple of thousand magazines. Again, we have many thousands of magazines here. We have people sign it and do the auction stuff and all that. And that's fantastic. But we can't, we still have a lot of magazines. And people send their magazines to us every few months because they don't want them thrown away. So they donate to us, and we give them a tax deduction letter and all that. So that's pretty cool. But we can't keep them all. We're keeping enough for the archives, but we can't keep them all. So we're trying to sell off some to help out the museum and stuff like that. So that's what we did. We sold a couple thousand, and that'll help us out pretty good. So many, many thanks to all those involved. Purchasing the magazines from us. It's very, very cool of you. Very nice people involved in that. So I'll tell you who the name is a little later. But thank you to them for helping us out in that area. Very cool. I want to say many thank yous to Troy Ransom. Troy was just here and helping us in a few areas. One area is getting a face for our animatronics. We talked about this before. We do a little animatronics here at the museum. And we needed to get the face back, a face on there. And, it's just not an easy thing to create a face. So we're hoping to buy a face to put on there. And Troy Ransom just donated some money to buy one of the faces. So thank you, Troy, very much for doing that. That was very kind of you. Troy Aguayo says, did they have cars back then? Yes, they did. Back in the olden days when cars were cars. Back in the olden days when someone hit you in a car, no matter how fast they were going, you would say, oh, did someone hit us? They were that thick, the walls like this. They were as thick as tanks, and you were not going to get killed or injured in a car crash unless it was really bad. But they were the bumpers were like that big and that wide. And if you hit somebody, you had to hit them really hard to make a dent. It was that thick back then, that thick. So they were cars back then, and you can tell what a car looks like back then. Oh, that was an Oldsmobile. That was a Ford. That was a whatever. Today, you can't even tell. The same car looks like an Accord, looks like a Mercedes, looks like a Lexus. And they all look the same now. You can barely tell the difference except looking for the little seal. I don't know why they're all copying each other. I remember when a Mustang used to look like a Mustang and a Charger looked like a Charger. Now they all look the same. Isn't that terrible? And hey, where are our flying cars? They promised us flying cars in 1999. Where are they? Back in the 60s, they promised us this, and they ain't here. So anyway, but they did have cars back then. They did have remote controls. Yeah. It was you tell your kid to go over with the pliers and turn the channel because they'd make these. The old TVs, back in the old TVs, they made a channel switcher. And they made them so cheap, they were just so cheap, out of plastic. And by the time you keep churning channels, and there were only like 4 or 5 stations, that's all there was, not like today. But you keep churning it, and then it'd wear it out, just like that, so fast. So you had to get a pair of pliers, and that's how you churn the channel. So after a while, everybody had a pair of pliers turning the channel. Only the rich had a remote control that we were able to do that. But everybody else, we just had to turn it by hand. And that's the way it was. The movies, everything stopped about midnight. You'd hear the Star Spangled Banner. No, what is it? The anthem, the national anthem would be played. And once the national anthem is playing, you see the flag, all black and white. When the flag's done, about 12 o'clock or something, I don't remember, somewhere around that. And then, or 2 o'clock, and then you see this pattern, and then you go, doo, and that's what it was. For the rest of the night till like 5 or 6 in the morning, there were no channels at all going on. Nothing at all going on. So anyway, that's the way it was. Oh, look at David Ortiz is watching. David was here earlier yesterday and shooting. We were doing the voiceover for the 10 things you didn't know about. And thank you, David. I'm working on it right now. I'm almost done with it. I was hoping to release it today, but probably not, probably tomorrow. But thank you, David. David's been the voice of the Martial Arts History Museum and for a long, long time, and helping us out with all the voiceovers years. All over the place you hear David's voice. So, David, am I sick of your voice? Yes, I am. I hear it every day. So anyway, just keep this in mind. Someone else said that I said they were the voice of karate. Okay, it is true. It is true. I did say that. I did. Just Donna Covey's mentioning. Thank you, Donna. Donna sent a signal to us. Donna's a great girl, just a wonderful girl. She's been helping us out for a long time. Donna Covey. Thank you, Donna, so much. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Look, see, this is what happens when you get 85. You start forgetting what you just talked about 2 seconds ago. Anyway, David has been helping. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Now, okay, someone again says they're the voice of karate. What it was is we had an event. This is going way back. Art Camacho helped arrange this event. And then we were doing our Hall of Fame awards. Okay, we were honoring people. We were doing it at Dragon Fest. We started doing it at the original Dragon Fest with Gerald Kimura. We were honoring people on stage, and there are a few pictures of me here and there that people captured that. And that was kind of cool. And that was very nice of Gerald for allowing me to do that on stage. And then we did it at a booth. We had a little booth at Dragon Fest. And then Art Camacho said, no, you can't do it there. You need to have a dinner event, something to make it real nice, And so that's what he did. Art Camacho had a convention called Star Bash in Las Vegas. and then the next day would be a dinner event, and he would award some of the people that he thanked, and then he says the rest of the dinner is yours. It's a Hall of Fame dinner. You award people right there on stage, and that's what we did. We started awarding people. Lily Rodriguez was there, and Donnie Williams was there. Sensei Cecil Peoples was there. Howard Jackson was there. We just had a packed house of people from all over the place coming to the event. That was really nice. So, so I was, up there emceeing the whole event of what's going on. We had video presentation, and I started just calling people up, that come on up here on stage, and I would say, oh, one of the premier martial artists of all time, or the greatest martial artist, the greatest kickboxer ever. I was just throwing out fun names, the master of disaster, so I was throwing those out when people coming up as a, to introduce them, to have a little fun with them, just kind of pumping them up. I would say good things about them, of course, but I also add in, the king of Sting, so-and-so. So one day I said it to this one guy, and coming up, and the voice of karate. And he took what I said and put it on all his documentation, saying I said he was the voice of karate. Yes, I did say that, but I was saying it in jest, just to have fun. Everybody was having fun, and he just took it too seriously, So anyway, did I say that, the words of voice of karate? Yes, I did. I could have said it with anybody there, but I was just having a fun time. But anyway, someone took it and put that quote everywhere. So what do I do? There's nothing I can do about it. I did say it. Anyway, let's see. A few questions over here. I need an Art Camacho signed Kung Fu magazine. Well, we just auctioned it off. Yes, we did. We just auctioned it off, my friend Troy. We just auctioned it off. I mailed it to Bill Pug, P-U-G-H. He just purchased that for $165, and I just mailed it off yesterday. So we had an auction of an Art Camacho signed magazine all week last week. So there was plenty of opportunity to get that one. So anyway, that was for Art Camacho. So, but coming up, let's see if I have it right here. Yes, I do. Coming up is a signed magazine from the King of Kata, Eric Lee, in both English and Chinese. This is going to go up for auction in another week or so. Well, pretty soon, maybe not a week, but pretty soon. We're going to have that up for auction. And that is Art Camacho's teacher, is Eric Lee, in case you didn't know that. So anyway, let's see. There's a few questions on this side. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading the questions here. My first remote control for my video had a wire on it. Oh, nice. Nice. It was short. You had to sit near the thing to use it. Oh, remote controls we were talking about. So, funny comments on the right. I don't read them all, but funny comments on the right. Many thanks to Cynthia Rothrock and all those people who are involved in the Camacho experiment. As you know, we are going up for Emmy consideration. So if any of you are part of the Emmys, please consider the Camacho experiment. We need to get past this round. The Emmys look at all the shows, and then they give a green light for who's in consideration. So we got a green light for that. So hopefully we'll have enough votes from those people who are on the Emmy board to put us in the next phase, which is Emmy nomination. Now that'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool to be saying you're an Emmy nominee. And this is for producing. So this was my first show I'm producing, and for this network and all that. We did it for the Outright Network. And myself, Art Camacho, and Bill Gottlieb, and one other person were up for producers on that. And Cynthia was a part of one of those programming for it. So thank you to Cynthia. Cynthia's in Aruba right now. So she's having a lot of fun in Aruba. Someone says, Cynthia is such an amazing and wonderful woman. Yes, she is very talented woman. Just a very cool kid. And we have a lot of fun together. Good friend of mine, and we have a great time together. So we haven't gotten out too much since the COVID. It's been a hamper and everything because we can't go anywhere. But thankfully, things are opening up. Hopefully, in June, we can open up fully. If we open up fully, we'll start having our events here in June. So we have a lot of events planned coming up, and hopefully we can get that all going and use our back area and get everything going. We have not done any improvements to the museum because we had no idea if we're going to open back up. Who knows what's going on? I have no idea what's going on with the political stuff out here in Burbank and then the state of California. So who knows? So anyway, we're slowly starting to fix things up a little bit right now, and hopefully we'll be able to open it up pretty soon. Let's see. Oh, look at let's see. So she's driving over. Hello. Oh, Joe Saladino is watching. Look at there's Joe Saladino, one of our first ambassador for the museum. Joe has been pushing us years ago quite a bit, still today, but quite a bit pushing the museum. So thank you, Joe, for all those years helping us out. And thank you for still continuing to help us out. Very kind of you, Joe Saladino. So very kind. We get a lot of ambassadors that come and go. And, that's just how it is. People can't be on here forever. It'd be nice, but, they just come and go. So we go from there. Same thing of our board. Board is mostly the same people. We just have one rotating board member, and the rest of the people stay on. So it's kind of cool. And on that for our board member, I try to find people who are in industry and, specialize in specific areas and not just put anybody on the board. So we look at them very carefully. And one rotating member, really. And I think it works out pretty good. It works out pretty good. So what else is up? Oh, there's some people walking by. They're just looking. Okay. Sorry, our doors are open here at the museum. And again, in case you're tuning on here, we tried to sign up on Facebook. Facebook put a new way to sign up to do a Facebook Live. And of course, they screwed it up and I can't even work it. So anyway, we are now applying for the venue operators grant. There's a brand new grant that just came out with the SBA or with the government. And we are applying for that. And that'll be pretty nice if we get it. Boy, do they have stuff they ask you. And it is such in detail. And then that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is they say, okay, we want you to put in your DUNS number. DUNS number. Okay, I had to figure out what that is. Then they say, put in your cage number. Then they say, oh, you got to put in this number. And they don't tell you ahead of time. You just kind of find out. And even though sometimes they tell you a little bit what's ahead of time, they don't tell you everything. So I'm having to go in, put in the numbers, and then save it for later and go back in, put in the numbers again, save for later. So this is my third day. I think my fourth day of trying to fill out an application just to qualify for the grant. Doesn't mean we're going to get it, but hopefully we'll get that grant and that'll be nice. But yeah, they just put you through some hoops here that you wouldn't believe getting a grant. And say, come on, guys, come on, But, I guess anybody could apply for it. But again, they put you some stuff they ask you. What does that have to do with a grant, So anyway, we are going through those hoops of hopefully getting that grant. That's not the big grant, but it's a good size grant for us. And that will really help us out a lot. So we're working very hard at that. Many thanks to all of you, Donna Covey, and so many more people, Troy today, and many more people that are continually donating, Graciela, and many more, Casillas, and Cecil, Sensei Cecil Peoples, and many more people are just giving of themselves to help out the museum. We are struggling. I will admit that we are struggling, but we are going to get through it. We are going to get through it. Like Thursday today, we had 2 people, and Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Friday have been bad lately, and nobody wants to come out. Nobody wants to come out yet. You know, I was at Maria's restaurant the other day right here in Burbank. Great place, great pasta. And there was like 2 people in the whole restaurant, and they're open for seating inside. And there was like 2 people, and that was it. So I'm doing my best to support the restaurants here in the city of Burbank. Burbank has been a great city for us, for the museum. I love the city. They have the best police, bar none. Burbank and Glendale, the best police force ever. We are in full support of the police force here in Burbank. And don't forget, police force, if you need a little more muscle, come knocking on my door. Anyway, we're always thrilled to help out the police, whatever they need. Great people. Our fire department, the best ever here in the city of Burbank. And I cannot say enough on most of the council at the city of the Burbank, the ones I know. I don't know the new ones, but the ones I know, I want to say many, many thanks to all of you who have been there for the museum. I cannot thank you enough. A beautiful city, the city of Burbank. I hope we remain in Burbank. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're hoping on that large grant to come through. And, you know, we've been working on that for a couple of years, and who knows? We're getting, hopefully, to the end of that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay? You never know. Let's see. Let me see. Hope to see you soon. Tomahawk, thank you for watching. David Ortiz, I'm just reading the names over here. Sensei Emma, very good. Yeah, everybody's on there. Very cool. Very good. Troy Manson, very nice. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all the news. The video I'm doing for Photoshop, I am still working that. Just to throw this out real quick. I use Adobe Photoshop. I've been using Adobe Photoshop since it was like Photoshop 2 or something like that. In the last year, I think Adobe Photoshop is now doing something that I don't think is really cool at all, but they're now charging you every month. So instead of buying the program and lasting you for whenever, like my Photoshop program is like 5 years old, okay, but I'm okay with it. I don't need all the fancy bells and whistles. That's fine. But today, if you get Photoshop, they're charging you every month forever. They're like that guy, Mr. Wonderful, on the Shark Tank. You know, he wants a royalty in perpetuity forever. That's the way Adobe Photoshop is doing it. They want you forever on there. So I am looking for some alternatives. I have found a few alternatives to Photoshop that charge you just a one-time fee, and that's it. It's yours. So I have found a couple great ones on there that look almost identical to Photoshop. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to, first of all, if you do Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and provide you with the classes, the series of classes that I talked about. So, and if you don't have Photoshop, I'm going to show you which programs are pretty good, just as good as Photoshop that you can use, and it's a very small cost. I think it's not even $100, and you can buy the program and don't worry about spending every month to keep Photoshop going, because you know that costs a lot after a while. And you know that I don't think I think it's bad form myself of them doing that. You know, it's real cheap, a cheap thing to do. That Adobe, I love Adobe, I love what they do, but I think it's a real cheap thing of them to do, to charge you every month. I know you get free upgrades, I know that, and I think it's great. If you use it all the time, fantastic. But if you don't use it every day, you know, or all the time, it's a bad pool, you know, it's not very nice to do. And I'm looking for alternatives, and I think I found a good one. Adobe Photoshop, and I'll let you guys know about it when I find it. But I'm still going forward with the Photoshop class, even though, and hopefully those of you who already have Photoshop, you can do it. And remember, you don't have to upgrade your Photoshop if you got an old one. You know, again, mine's about 5 years old. It does everything I needed to do, and that was before they charge you monthly. So I'm still in the clear, and hopefully I'll be able to use this Photoshop for a long time. So anyway, I'll look into other new ones and give you guys some advice on what's pretty good out there. So there's some great stuff out there that can replace Photoshop. So anyway, just throwing that out there really quick. I think that's it. Again, many thanks to Art Camacho and the Camacho Experiment. I'm praying and hoping anybody who is part of the Emmys, who has any voting power or on the board, will vote for the Camacho Experiment to be in the next round for the nominee, and that would be pretty cool. And who knows, we may even come home with the Emmy. Wouldn't that be very exciting? I'm going to go, here's the Emmy. I'll carry it with me everywhere I go. Anyway. I think that's it. Okay, does anybody, oh, someone has a question. Let me know when you're shipping to the UK for the hats and shirts. Thank you, Robert. Robert wanted to know about the shipping on the Etsy for the hats and the shirts. I apologize. Since my hard drive crashed, my whole mind has been focusing on the hard drive and getting this grant filled out as soon as possible. So I put that on the back burner for a little bit so I can get these both things done. I got the hard drive accomplished. Now I got to finish getting that grant, finishing up that grant, and then I'll be able to refocus back on Etsy. So thank you for mentioning that. That's very cool of you. I appreciate that very much. I hope you guys get a hat. This is a pretty cool hat I got here, and we got some great hats, and I hope you guys enjoy the hats. They're our best sellers so far, and we're going to pursue that. As you know, in June, we're going to have to sell everything on our Etsy because Amazon is shutting off all their on-demand DVDs. So we're going to be selling everything on Etsy. So I'm having everything duplicated right now. So anyway, just to let you know. Okay, Robert says, don't worry. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time always, Michael. Love the show and the museum. Thank you very much, Robert. Very kind of you. Okay, so any questions now? Any questions for me? Anything, you know, that you want me to answer, that you have me live right here. So I do my best. I do my best to answer and create stuff and, you know, create new things and all that. Any questions, anybody? You know, these were donated to us. We almost sold it. Someone wanted to buy it, and then their wife convinced them not to buy it. But I almost had them sold. So anyway. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Everybody, take care. Have a fantastic Thursday, and have a great weekend. And see you later. Oh, look at there's the emergency going by. So anyway, you all take care and live long and prosper, guys. Take care, everybody. Bye.